welcome to the meeting of the Public Safety Committee for Tuesday, February 27th. I'm Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, and I'm joined today by my colleagues, Councilmember Greg Smith, Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell, and Councilmember Joe Buscaino. At this time, we'd like to go ahead and open it up to general public comment and anyone with multiple speaker cards. And so at this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Eric Previn to be followed by Mr. Herman.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn from CD2, and I note that you're all here, all five of you. It's great news. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is somebody missing? Uru is missing. My mistake. Thank you. I think that your agenda, is fairly robust. There's 12 items. Item 11 caught my attention because it reads like one thing, but when you click through, it looks like another. And then when you finally click on the document, it's clear that it is a mobile radio play. Now, I know Buscaino and O'Farrell certainly recall the grievances that were lodged formally, both here and at the county, about the Motorola shove through, I believe is the official term, without competitive bidding. So this is about changing the law here to accommodate them over at Englander, Knabe and Allen and Motorola of Schaumburg, Illinois. And the problem is that competitive bidding benefits the public enormously because, for example, we looked at the competitor's price on the mobile radios over at the county, and Mr. Buscaino, I know you're a cost cutter. This saved the county, if they had gone forward with the alternate bid, it would have saved them $10 million on the face of the deal on portable radios. But what's worse is that the costs that we were kissed into through the LA RICS program are going to put small towns all over the county in a very tough situation regarding having to step up and pony up. In fact, FirstNet, which Bob Blumenfield was worried wasn't included in the ones we got here at LA City, was just donated for, it's like a $10 million gift from some other company. So this entire thing smells, what we like to say in the business, too high heaven. So I would just ask that you agendize things properly, because this one doesn't seem to meet the basic standard for me, because it doesn't say anything about radios. I mean, it says you're adjusting it's not about radios? Why don't you read the item, sir? A little more clear for you. When you click through, you'll see, and I'll be happy to post it on
Thank you,
Twitter.
Mr. Previn.
Thank you. Don't I get
Mr. Herman?
General, or we're not doing general today?
We don't have you for general. We just had you for the multiple
Oh, no, I
item.
signed up for general.
Okay.
I'll do 1 minute real quick.
So now, sir, let me have Mr. Herman come up. We're doing multiple items. Mr. Herman?
Okay, you separate them out here? Fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, so when Englander decided to bring in the so-called Motorola deal, who got fucked? You, the public. 10 million plus fucking dollars because we have stupid fucking renegade cops like Joe Buscaino and CD15 that don't fucking know how to calculate. That's how fucking stupid he is. Look at that dumb schmuck up there. And the bottom line is this. There is no specific action because we, the legislative body, demand that you amend what jackass Knabe, Englander, and Associate LLC has done to fuck the deal. In addition to police, fuck the police. Along with all this jargon, Board of Police Commissioners asking for a National Institute of Justice for DNA. Well, you know what they do with DNA? They take this little swab and they say either you let us swab you or we'll keep you in jail. Isn't that right, Mr. Buscaino, you stupid fucking ex-cop? Listen, Mommy, I'm talking about DNA. And when you stuck that swab in my mouth about 8 years ago, you stupid fucks, when you kicked me out of my rent control home and falsely accused me under strategic lawsuits against the public, you fucking dicks. That's what happens. Shithole stupid fucking politicians fucking with people's lives. And that's why I'm glad the FBI is here to mandate that federal emergency money stop. Stop sending these fucking assholes Washington money. Because we have shithole Cohen assholes like Joe Busciano, Italian mafia fucking assholes from the port.
That concludes our multiple item speaker card, and we will, we've got 4 speakers on item number 1, 2, we have speakers on all cards. Was that? Alicia? Okay. I'm sorry. We have Red Chief for multiple agenda items. Red Chief? No? Okay. So that is not. And Yvonne Autry?
Yes. Regarding public safety, I'd like to, let's see, I think I requested to speak. I only get 2 minutes for all of the items. I'd like to speak first on the public safety, the engineering of the poverty as a TI, continued surveillance per suspicious activity reports, which are purely fictitious, used to justify experimenting on us using electronic weaponry, germ warfare. I find needle marks on my body were being experimented on. I know that the DNA is being extracted per law from every prison inmate, probably to use them, to incriminate them in the examination of the DNA kits, and also for stem cell research for white people, Jewish people, wealthy people, melanin-rich people are incarcerated at a much higher rate than Caucasian people, so I know you're using our DNA and interferon from the black male genitalia. I know I have been subjugated, and that's one reason that I'm targeted. I suppose I have some desirable traits that you people want. So also, I'm exposing that. Also, it's because I speak Spanish, and I have to keep this on the record. When I hear my Mexican and Hispanic maintenance men, and they're not the only ones, they're Masons that are targeting certain targeted individuals that tell me that they're under orders and they're getting rewarded to break us down, put us in the street, make us ugly, prostitutes, drug addicts, lesbians, hot lunch for you people in your ritual. Yeah. So again, this is a process so that I guess you were not distractions for the white women or Hispanic women. But again, this is the use of electronic weaponry to break down and torture.
That concludes our multiple agenda speaker cards. Colleagues with... Excuse me, ma'am, you're disrupting this meeting. Excuse me, ma'am, you're disrupting this meeting. Your time has concluded. Sergeant, would you please... This is your last and final warning. If you disrupt the meeting again, ma'am, you will be escorted out of the room. Colleagues, items 1 through 7 and 9 through 13, I'd like to recommend that we take on consent if there's no objection. So ordered. Do you want to read those items into the record?
You. For item 1, we'll be concurring with the Personnel and Animal Welfare Committee report. For item 2, we'll be approving the CAO recommendations. For item 3, approving the CAO recommendations. For item 4, approving the CAO recommendations. For item 5, approving the CAO recommendations. For number 6, approving the CAO recommendations. And item 7, approving the CAO recommendations. For item 9, we'll be approving the recommendations from the Board of Police Commissioners report. For item 10, the recommendation is to note and file the Board of Police Commissioners report. For item 11, the recommendation will be to adopt the ordinance. For item 12, the recommendation is to adopt the ordinance. And for item 13, the recommendation is to note and file the Board of Fire Commissioners report.
Thank you very much. Could you please call item 8?
Thank you. Item 8 is the CAO report relative to the supplemental agreement to contract number C125630 between the Los Angeles Fire Department and Pulse Point Foundation for an application service that alerts subscribers of sudden cardiac arrest incidents and other emergency events. There is a time limit on this file.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I just had a quick question, colleagues, and you're welcome to join, but I wanted to find out, as far as this Pulse Point contract, is there any coordination at all with EMD in terms of our larger discussion on resiliency matters in the city? Have we engaged in any conversations with EMD and like the CERT program?
So, good afternoon, Madam Chair, council members, Deputy Chief Graham Everett, I'm the Chief of Staff. Yes, to answer your question, the marketing, if you will, of Pulse Point has been going on since we entered our contract in 2015. So when we have CERT classes, hands-only CPR courses, and our partnerships with EMD and other agencies that we work with, we do promote the use of Pulse Point and downloading the app to the public. To go as far as when the chief presented his magnet school program, all the kids started downloading it immediately. So yes, we have been working with other departments and through our CERT program and other training venues that we use. So.
Okay. That was my only question. Colleagues, you're good? Okay. All right. So thank you very much. That was my only question. We go ahead and move that item and approve it without objection. And now that brings us to general public comment. So we'll start with Coach Ron.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Coach Ron. I represent world famous Skid Row Community Cleanup. We are a volunteer waste management agency that provides free cleaning up of world famous Skid Row in recruiting the homeless community. I'm just talking clearly about the refresh spot. You guys may have known or may not know about it, and the important role it plays in our community in Skid Row. It's a free services. It's open 24 hours a day. We're really concerned about the upcoming displacement of the refresh spot. We have a timeline of October of this year to move out. We have identified locations where it can be relocated, and we're just here to urge the Public Safety Committee to look at it and put some urgency into keeping it open and making it available for the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Yvonne Autry.
Okay, yeah, this comment is more benign. So what I'd like to do is, in support of my colleague Ron Crocker and also all of the wonderful and concerned members of the Skid Row Improvement Coalition, I'd like to support his request to secure a permanent space for the refresh spot, because it was the Skid Row Community Improvement Coalition that brainstormed. I think that was Frenchie, Louise Mbella, of course Charles Porter, Ron, and all of us. The city got credit for what we designed to serve the Skid Row community. So what I would like to do is, I'd like to be bold and ask for more permanent property as well in supporting Ron and also my fellow colleagues. The space on, I suppose it's a church that they want to secure. I'd also like the firehouse, which Jan Perry was used to take from the community.
Thank you very much.
We'd like to take it back.
Thank you. Tom Grode, followed by Friedel Cushman. afternoon.
Late last year, the Skid Row Community Improvement Coalition was told the Outdoor Hygiene Center, Skid Row Community Refresh Spot, needed to relocate by October. We then voted unanimously to recommend the city buy a property very close by with a parking lot larger than the one Refresh Spot is currently on. Last week at a coalition meeting, we found out that over the past 2 months, there has been no forward movement in City Hall regarding finding the Refresh Spot a new home. Council members O'Farrell and Rodriguez, next week this will be brought before the Homelessness and Poverty Committee, but because of the urgency, you're being told about it now. As for public safety, one of the many success stories of the Refresh Spot is how the staff and folks using the spot work together to create a safe space 24/7. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bridal Cushman, followed by Caleb Havens.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Fradel. It's my first time talking to most of you. I want to first express gratitude and acknowledgement for the service that y'all are emitting and uplifting our communities. I'm also here in support of finding a permanent home for the Refresh Spot. It's been serving over 15,000 uses every month for Skid Row unhoused residents to access toilets, showers, and laundry services in a kind, compassionate, trauma-informed way. You may or may not be aware, but the United Nations has a recommendation for toilet access in refugee camps. Right now, Skid Row is still 300 toilets underneath the United Nations recommendation. I appreciate your service and your open hearts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Caleb Havens, followed by Megan Ramsey.
Hey everybody, just echoing what a lot of other people say, me and some friends of here work at a soup kitchen on Skid Row, and we go and serve oatmeal out front of the Refresh Spot. It's the only place where 24/7 you can use the bathroom, do your laundry, and get a shower. There's no other place like that on Skid Row right now that's open to the public, and that's why it has such an incredible amount of usage. Our favorite location for it would be the church right at catty corner of the intersection at 606 East 6th Street. It's been mentioned before in the context of hygiene, partly because of our recommendation through CD14 Office Jose Huizar. We're in kind of a quasi-state of having city council representation, and we'd really appreciate if all the committees could pull together and make some stuff happen while we don't have representation on some of these committees. And the Refresh Spot is hugely important to the community, has been used by thousands and thousands of people, and every single one of them is unsafe because they don't have housing and they live on tents crammed together in our neighborhood. So if you guys could do something to look at that church on 606 East 6th Street for the permanent home for the Refresh Spot, it'd be great.
Thank you very much. Megan Ramsey, followed by Theo Kaiser.
Hi there. Too little, too late is what I heard every city official say when they had the soft opening for the Refresh Spot. And it for sure was too little, too late, as we heard we need over 300 toilets downtown for all the people who have no dignity to go anywhere else. And if we were to take away the space that it has presently and not secure a new location for it, it'll be a huge step back. It'll be starting over at square one. And it'll make every city official who came there and said too little, too late look ridiculous. So it's too little, too late. We need more in addition to what we already have. And instead of bridge housing, we really need to be focusing on public safety and having basic hygiene for these people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have a question, if you don't mind. When did the Refresh Spot open? How long ago did it open? Okay, so a couple of years ago, year and a half ago?
There's a soft opening for it, December 2017.
Okay.
It had to close down, open up. It's been functioning regularly since late August.
I mean, we'll do some research on it. It's in the 14th District, I understand. And is it operating on city-owned property at the moment? Do you know?
No, it's on borrowed space right now.
It's on borrowed space, but you're looking, because your lease runs out in October, as you mentioned, and you need to land somewhere to offer the exact same services.
Yes.
Somewhere in the vicinity, of course.
Yes.
Okay,
somewhere in
well,
the
we'll do
area.
some following up on this.
thank you all.
It's something that is just coming to our attention.
Well, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
Theo Kaiser, followed by Mayor Cook Tonkin.
I'm here also to speak for the refresh spot. You know, bathrooms, showers, laundry things. These are stuff we take for granted, you and I. Everyone, I work at the Los Angeles Catholic Worker. We run a soup kitchen down on Skid Row, and we hear from folks all the time how much they enjoy having access to restrooms, and we would hate to see that go away. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Mayor Cook Tonkin, followed by Adeline Bertha. Hi, good afternoon.
I also want to advocate for the refresh spot. The refresh spot is a great place. We serve oatmeal out the front, and it's always a really positive experience. The refresh spot provides a basic and essential place for hygiene and toilets for the Skid Row community. It's a small step towards improving the conditions of Skid Row that the United Nations Health Analysis said has less resources required than that of a refugee camp. This is totally unacceptable in a first world country. The refresh spot provides basic and essential needs, and there is nowhere else that does this 24/7. If you take this away, it is a massive step backwards. There needs to be an immediate response and solution for the opening and relocation of a permanent refresh spot.
Thank you so much. Adeline? Hi.
Hello, my name is Adeline Bertha. I'm a community liaison for a prevention program of social model recovery systems located in Skid Row. I'm here to urge and beseech the Public Safety Committee to assist in securing a permanent location for the refresh spot. The refresh spot, located on 557-559 Crocker Street, provides free restroom, showers, and laundry facilities for 24 hours a day. While the hygiene center has been applauded, it is only a start. With approximately 2,000 people living across 50 blocks, there are still inefficient facilities. We cannot lose this much needed and highly utilized research, which provides and supports unsheltered community members in Skid Row. With much encouragement from the community, I beseech you to support the motion introduced November 2nd, 2018, which included a possible purchase of a former church located on 606 East 6th Street that is centrally located in the Skid Row community as a permanent location. Again, I'm imploring you, based on the facts, act now before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Charles Porter, followed by Danny Park. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I'm echoing comments you've already heard about the importance of the refresh spot. One thing I want to say about public health and safety is that it was envisioned that the spot be operated and run by folks with lived experience. So we've been able to create a lot of community jobs with some folks are actually currently homeless, and they get living wage jobs. So it's very important to us. It's currently funded through LASA. It's on city-owned property now, but it's in the process of transition for a project that the Weingart Center is working on. In regards to our request today, also, WeSAR introduced a motion in November to use some of the HEAP dollars in for crisis response facilities. And the location that we're really excited about is on that list of 606 East 6th Street. So if folks could just follow up and help us with that, then these resources could be leveraged to find a permanent home for the refresh spot. Thank you.
Very helpful.
Thank you very much. Danny Park? Hi, good afternoon.
Hello. So this is regarding public safety, and I'm also here in support of the Skid Row refresh spot. My name is Danny Park. I'm a business owner of Skid Row People's Market, a community-focused grocery store serving the neighborhood of Skid Row for 24 years, and also co-founder of Skid Row Coffee, a social enterprise, coffee shop, and job training program. A safe, fully operating, dignifying restroom spaces are one of the basic amenities that fall short for many of our customers. and our beloved community of Skid Row. The Skid Row Refresh Spot is a beautiful place, and so was the creation and operations of it. It was a community-driven process empowering the people of Skid Row and taking part in the decision-making process and the self-determination of the neighborhood we reside, work, and play in. Furthermore, even also providing employment. It was based on the people's needs, a true reflection of community health and of the healing processes. Sadly,
You finish your statement.
sadly, it isn't close to enough, and the thought of not having even this available is tragic.
Thank you.
Oh.
You're welcome to submit that to the record if you like. But thank you. I have to keep it all
Thank you.
equal. And thank you all very much for making the time to come in and share this and bring it to our attention. We look forward to engaging in the conversation at homelessness and poverty. So thank you all very much for coming in. Mr. Previn, followed by Mr. Herman.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn from Studio City, and I also am supportive of the refresh spot. I think it's a good idea. I think that when you have so many people living in those conditions, it's essential to have that kind of a center where you can get clean clothing, a shower, food, something like that. We have access centers in our neighborhood. I'm on the Studio City Neighborhood Council. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. We have a mobile pit stop program. That's another one. I know Councilmember O'Farrell is familiar with that one. That's from San Francisco, which is a toilet facility with an attendant, and it is the secret sauce that can contain, activities to appropriate activities in the toilet as opposed to other activities. So we were very supportive of that, and that's why we've reached out to Krikorian, who has raised a little flag of support, and we're hoping that the Metro at the Red Line at Universal will agree, and that's why we're asking the mayor to also help us get them to say, sure, let's try one, because it will bring the kind of dignity and decency that we are looking forward to.
Thank you, Mr. Previn. Mr. Herman?
Yup. It's all about the essentials of public safety. And all we demand is a little love. The type of love of housing, a place to shower, a place to call home. Instead, we are criminalized for sleeping in the sidewalk. We are criminalized for having a 22-foot mobile home parked on the street. Fuck you! Just nothing but a bunch of crybabies, like those fucking Italians, like that schmuck Joe Buschiano, the silver-tongued cop. Fuck you, cop. We have a right to sleep on street, niggas, because we are the vulnerable people. You put us in a predicament like this, you stupid cunt bitch, Joe Buschiano. And for that reason, you shithole cop, go to hell and have AIDS and die.
Okay, that concludes general public comment. I believe we've cleared the desk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That clears the desk.
Sir, we didn't have you sign it. We didn't have you on the... We didn't receive that. Thank you. So that concludes this meeting. Thank you very much.